Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Jen here in the house. Today I decided I was going to do the eyeshadow palette tag. This video originated from Samantha March and Allie Gaines. They created this and did a collab video. I thought it was super cool. I tried to find people to collab with, but I'm a smaller channel and I guess nobody wanted to collab with someone that has 200 followers, which I think is a huge deal. I don't really watch people based on how many subscribers they have. I watch them based on their character, their attitude, and like the content of their videos. So I don't watch a lot of giant YouTubers. I would say like micro influencers and below. Those are the most genuine people that speak honestly and openly. Here on my channel, I don't get PR. I don't get things sent to me. I don't make any money off of my channel. I don't make any AdSense money or any of that. So what I put out is genuinely from my hard-earned money, and my real ass opinion. So I thought that this eyeshadow palette would be, the tag would be a really good one. You could see a little bit more of my collection, get to know me as an eyeshadow connoisseur. And yeah, so if you want to see what I picked for the different eyeshadow palette, categories, then keep on watching. Okay, so it's a series of 12 questions, and basically it's all about eyeshadow palettes. So let's just start with number one. This one is the newest palette. So I had to put little tabs on all of mine to keep them in order because I forget easily. So this one was tough for me simply because I recently made some purchases. I don't know which ones I purchased first, and I don't even remember which ones got here like last to say it's my newest. So I did place an order from ColourPop, and I got the Miss Bliss and the All That eyeshadow palettes. I'm actually wearing Miss Bliss right now. So that is the palette. All That I haven't gotten to play with yet, but I'm excited because I love maroons. And then they had this one for half price at Sephora. So I also purchased this one, if I can get it open. I'm sure everybody is pretty familiar with what the Mercury retrograde looks like. And yeah, so let's do this together. That is just so satisfying. I don't know why, this really is. So those are my newest eyeshadow palettes. I was going to put the Pat McGrath ones in here, the little 5-pan and the little Blitz Astral Quad, but to be honest, I think these were definitely ordered after that. So in being fair and being honest, these are the newest palettes to my collection. Okay, so the next one was the oldest palette, and honestly, I can't find the actual oldest. I was looking through this bag, and it's not in here, but my technical oldest eyeshadow palette, first one I ever got, would be the Unique #1, the Moonstruck palettes. It's all like deep browns and bronzes and tans and things like that. So that was my technical first eyeshadow palette. But my first eyeshadow palette I ever bought at a prestige store was the Urban Decay Naked Heat. So this tells you that I haven't been wearing makeup that long. This was my absolute ride or die. I have worn this so much. I also had a nice maroon, true maroon shade in a single pan from Unique that I like to pair with this palette, and that is like the go-to look, which would make sense as to why I got the All That palette, because I just love maroons. This eyeshadow palette is well loved. I still reach into it and use it from time to time. I am really actually pretty good about shopping my stash. I don't gravitate towards one palette more than any other. I literally try to use a different palette, a different foundation, a different everything each day, because I don't want anything that I have spent my hard-earned money and my partner's hard-earned money on to go to waste. So I definitely like to rotate and make sure that I'm giving all of my makeup fair usage. So number 3 is the most expensive palette. So this palette is $4 more than the Pat McGrath or some of the other ones that Natasha Denona has that I own. But this one is $129. It is actually on sale right now for $65. Some of her other ones, just for example, so she has the same amount of pans in these smaller ones, but these are just the slightly bigger ones. These are not the super big ones that are $239, but this one's $129, and that's super expensive for me. But I really wanted it. This was the first experience that I had with the Natasha Denona formula, and it did not disappoint. This lovely mint color, this amazing limoncello, the gusty, and then you've got all of these peachy, sort of like maroon, tan, very earthy, very airy, and, you know, sexy and light. Very feminine palette, I think, to me. It could be for anyone, men's included. But this was really my first love. This was where makeup went to me. I just realized a whole new world. They blend themselves. They're so good. If you've never tried the Natasha Denona formula, I'm telling you, nothing compares to this, and you'll be a spoiled ass brat once you do. But this, I don't regret purchasing. I love it. All right. Number 4 was tough for me because this was like an everyday palette. And like I said before, I don't use one palette every day. But if I had to choose an everyday, or if I travel with one that I want to wear every day that I'm gone, I will travel with this little mini nude by Natasha Denona. This has like silvers, bronzes, deep bronze, cool bronze, a deep, you know, a crease shade, and then a deepening shade on the outer corner. I travel with this one a lot and use it like an everyday. And then if I had to pick an everyday palette that I would absolutely use every day, it would be the ABH Soft Glam. So if you don't own this palette, this is fabulous. Again, your maroons, oranges, peaches, dusty roses. You've got quite a few shimmers here to complete a look or do your inner corner. So if I had to choose, I would say either this one or this one, but I definitely travel with this one more. This palette is well loved. I absolutely love Soft Glam by ABH. The shimmers in here are just a force to be reckoned with. So these would be my everyday palettes. All right, what's the next one? Most colorful. Okay, so this was hard too. I have to move some things around or I'm gonna mess everything up. Okay, so for me, most colorful meant like the most vibrant, the best colors, the one I'm gonna reach for most colorful. And to me, that's the Jawbreaker palette. So this one has some amazing colors, vibrant, very alive, super rainbow and colorful. I quite love this palette, I'm not gonna lie. These colors here, these sort of, you know, call to me more. If you use this color and mix it with either this color or this color, you get a deeper, darker purple. So the good thing about this shadow formula is that you can mix the primary colors and make other colors. You can mix it on the hand or you can mix it on the eye. They mix very, very well. So I would pick Jawbreaker. But if we had to go for scope of the rainbow, I'm gonna say, you know, Morphe X James Charles. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. I honestly haven't used this since I did my video. I'm a makeup collector though, so, you know, I had to have the James Charles. So this has more options of the rainbow, but it's not as vibrantly colored. So that's sort of why I picked the both of them. I think that the Jawbreaker is definitely more vibrant and more rainbow and more color. As far as scope of color in the rainbow, I think that this one would definitely have to be that. But I'm gonna reach for the Jawbreaker before I reach for the Morphe James Charles. I dropped something. Wouldn't be a fucking video if I didn't. It has all the names on it, so I keep it naturally. I can just, I don't know, the formula is a little bit better to me. I hate to say that. I wish that I had the mini James Charles palette, because I think I would probably use that one more, but I just see this one, it's so enormous. Like the Jawbreaker is pretty big, but this one's just so giant, and it's on display in my bathroom. It's more of like a staple piece. Like it's there. I want to see it and be so proud that I have it, but I don't use it that much. So I guess talking myself into it, it would definitely be the Jawbreaker palette for me. So I think we'll go with that one. Number 6 is the smallest palette that I own. And I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I created this little 3-pan Makeup Forever palette. So this to me is the smallest palette that I own. A nice shimmery orange, a pink, and a purple. When they first came out with their single shadows, they had like a whole array. They came out with new single shadows. This is very artist friendly. So Makeup Forever is definitely an artist friendly brand. And these colors, I just really felt like I needed in my collection. And so I bought them all together and created this little 3-pan palette. So this is my smallest palette. I don't have any of the e.l.f. I don't buy drugstore palettes really. Like ColourPop is as like drugstore as I get. It's no offense. It's just that I have hooded eyes and I need a formula that lasts all day, that doesn't crease, that doesn't move around when I put it on. It's just really, eyeshadow is really important to me, much like foundation and primer. So this is my smallest, and I can say that, like it's my smallest. I have a lot of the little mini Natasha Denonas, but this one only has 3 pans in it, and this one is my smallest. So my biggest palette, I really believe that it's the Morphe James Charles. Not just for size, geez, but also for the amount of colors that are in here. I was going to bring the Bloodlust palette with me just because it's very bulky, it's very big. But if we're going by pan size and actual like square footage, I would say that the James Charles palette is it. I don't want to go on too much about it because I just did. So you've got to see it. I did a tutorial with the James Charles palette, so if you want to see what I created, I know everybody else did these nice rainbow colorful looks, but I went with very natural everyday look. So you go check that out and see if maybe you like it or you don't. All right, so that was number 7, the biggest. Number 8. Okay, this one was really hard for me. So it was best memory. So I started getting better at eyeshadow and started really loving makeup more than I ever had. And this one was a toss-up for me because the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes, I really wanted. Like, these colors are so good. It's an all matte palette. I had first started learning about how to do makeup on hooded eyes from Myrna, Makeup by Myrna, and Madison Miller, and then also Riza. Riza does, I forget what her channel name is, but you guys know her. She's a little bit older than me, has hooded eyes, she's a makeup artist, and they were explaining to me, the 3 of them, that you really need to use matte shadows on your eyes. Like, you can do shimmer if you want, no big deal, but for the most part, a matte is gonna look so much better. So I went out and got this, and had used some of my other palettes to put the shimmer on the inner corner, on the lid. I got one of the little Starlit shimmers and used that for Makeup Forever. So I really was so excited to get this. It was an all matte palette, and it was peach, and it was like right up my alley, and I just remember being so excited about it. But if I have to say the one palette I was the most excited about to ever get, it would definitely be the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. I was so excited to get this with the blush, and the smell is so good, but it's got the highlighter, and it's got, you know, these mauve-y sort of, you know, maroon looking colors. The packaging to me was just like, my mind was so blown. Again, newbie. And, you know, highlighter, shimmer, mattes, the gradient. I didn't have to think really hard about what to do. So I would say best memory palettes would be these 2 right here. I couldn't pick just one because they were both so great. Throwback, like for real though. All right, number 9. is worth the hype. So I thought about this for a long time, and I thought not just for me, but for like everyone who loves makeup. And I really didn't want to go, okay, because it's expensive or because it's cheap, but genuinely like the hype, like it was so big, it was so much. And then when you got it, did you still hold up that greatness, that hypeness? And yes. So I picked the Blood Sugar for worth the hype. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad. They don't like Jeffree Star Cosmetics. They don't like Jeffree Star right now. But I am speaking genuinely and honestly. I actually bought one of these, and then I bought a mystery box and got a new one. So my other one I did sell, and this one I kept for myself. This was so highly anticipated. I can't even explain it to you. And when it came out, it was so iconic. Just the packaging, like, come on. Nobody's done this still to date. Nobody's done this. Nice mirror. And then the colors here are just like nudes and pinks, reds, maroons. So you know I had to love it. This one doesn't look well loved just because it's pretty new, and so the other one was well loved, and this one will be too. These colors and these combinations were so revolutionary whenever they came out. Like, nobody could believe that he actually did this, because formulating a red is so hard to do, but to do a whole palette that's sort of themed around it, I was like, I don't know if he can do it. And then boom, this is one of my favorites. So this is honestly worth the hype. If you didn't get it, you really should. Because boo-boo, it's worth it. It's worth it. And brands are inanimate objects. They're not people. So don't make it about the person, because I'm here for the makeup. Now then, 10, not worth the hype. Okay, so everybody was so excited. And I was too. When I saw the packaging, I thought, holy shit, right? Like, this is so good. I did a review on this palette, and honestly, I come into it sometimes for some of these like shimmery blues or like this icy blue, but I don't use this palette for anything else. I felt like the blue matte shades just swept away on the eye. I feel like these shades up here, you can't really see on the eye. If you're super, super pale and fair, maybe. But otherwise, like, probably not. I don't know. I haven't really seen anybody of like a super deep skin tone use this, so I really can't speak to that. I can't remember if Kelsey Brianna J did a review of this or not. I don't think she uses Jeffree Star products, but I could be wrong. So I'll keep a lookout and see if I can find some people. But for the most part, this was so hyped up, and everyone was so excited because ColourPop had made their blue palette, and when they heard Jeffree Star was making it after the Blood Sugar, the rest of us were like, fucks yes. You know what I mean? All the aquas and pinks and blues, and genuinely was so excited about this. And to me, I'm sorry, but it was a flop. It was not worth the hype. It was not worth my coin. And I think about selling it sometimes, and then I'm like, no, this packaging's amazing. I do reach in it for the shimmer, so it's not a complete waste. Yeah, I wore it when I did a red, white, and blue look for 4th of July, and I used some colors out of here, so it's not like it never gets used, but it definitely wasn't worth the hype, to be 100. Okay, let's see. We are at favorite palette from favorite brand. So this one was really tough. This is a toss-up for me, because I would say my favorite palette whenever I got it. Okay, so I lost my train of thought. So I would say my favorite palette from my favorite brand is the Neutrals palette by Natasha Denona. This is the Biba palette. I'm not going to hold it up because this shadow likes to fall out. But Rustic, Monroe, and Shine are the 3 most fabulous shimmer shades ever. This is a very everyday, bring it up a little more maroon, keep it to the orangey, yellows, browns type. It's just a vibe for everybody, for every season. I really, really love this palette by Natasha Denona. I think this works for everyone, and that's why I like it, because I like something that works for everyone. I don't like to just recommend things that are not going to work for everyone. But I will say I love the Dose of Colors eyeshadow formula, not them as a brand. So for me, Natasha Denona as a brand, I fucking love. I'm not gonna lie. But the Dose of Colors sort of eyeshadows are so epic and iconic. So this is the Baked Browns. It's Tea Light, Deserted, Outdoorsy, Cherry Wood, and Rock Bottom. This, when I first got it, I literally didn't want to use anything else. These colors are so good. They look so good on hooded eyes. They look so good on hazel eyes, or green eyes, whichever one. And it's so good. Like, I love this palette so much. I need to bust it out again. I have all the little 5 pans that Dose of Colors has made, except for the 2 newer ones. The Angel one and then the cooler like neutral one. I don't have those 2, but nevertheless. So number 12 is my most used palette. I went with Natasha Denona Sunrise palette because I genuinely do use this palette a lot. I think that this is so beautiful. This color here, I've almost hit pan on Morgan, and then Citrine also I've almost hit pan on, and then I reach into these 3 shimmers here to wear with other palettes all the time. I'm constantly in this palette. It's got the purples, it's got yellows, oranges, peaches, pinks, burgundies, like everything that you could want in a palette is in this one. The price is $65 for this. It is a little bit smaller than her regular ones, but it's the same amount of pans. They're just a little bit smaller, but I can totally appreciate that because I use a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow palettes and highlighters are like the things that I want the most. I guess you could probably throw foundations in there with that because I've been on a foundation kick right now. I've been trying to find one that you can wear with a face mask that doesn't wear off. One that lasts out in the fucking summer heat, one that you can go swimming in. Like, I've been trying the whole gamut of things. I've even been trying like Neutrogena and things like that from the drugstore. So let's be real. I found one from Neutrogena I like. But this has to be my most used, to be honest. This one or the Biba, because honestly, like I reach into that one a lot. And then the Mini Nude from Natasha Denona, I would say I use a lot just because of the way the pans look. Let me unstack some shit so I can get to it. Yeah, so like this shimmer shade here, I've almost hit pan on. This one is very well loved. And so yeah, so that is my eyeshadow palette tag video. Those are my eyeshadow palettes. I started thinking like, am I gonna have the same as everybody else? But no, after I got to looking at the list of questions and looking at my eyeshadow palette collection and really digging deep, I realized that I'm so much different than most people with eyeshadows. I saw a lot of people have the same, like the little mini elf fun size. I'm like, I don't even own that. What's my smallest? And then bam, my little Makeup Forever 3 pan. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Makeup Forever shadows. I'm a huge Natasha Denona fan. If you didn't gather that from this, Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have almost all of the Huda, but not all the little bitty 9 pans, but I have all the bigger ones. And then ColourPop, I really like the formula for the price, honestly. I would say that the ColourPop formula is comparable to that of like Tarte and some of the better Too Faced formulas. It's not up there with like ABH, Natasha Denona type formulas, but it is really good for the price. It's vegan and cruelty free. It's made in the USA. So there's so many good things about ColourPop. If you haven't used them, I would definitely say do. Huda as a brand is really starting to grow on me, and I thought about picking the Rose Gold Remastered eyeshadow palette because I used that so much when I got it. I had a makeover done in Arkansas at the Sephora there in Pinnacle Hills. I don't remember the artist's name, but she was fabulous. She used the old Rose Gold by Huda Beauty, and there was a color in there called Dubai, and she used it on my eye and it looked so gorgeous. And that's one of those colors in a palette that I'm just not ever going to reach for, but I was really surprised by it, and it made me love the palette all over again. And then I will say, for honorable mention, I will say, worth the hype. The Jeffree Star cremated palette. I was really concerned. I collect everything. I'm going to say that. I collect the whole gamut of eyeshadows. I love them. I love the different formulas. I love the look of them, the feel of them. Everything about eyeshadow I just love. And I really don't wear a lot of dark shadows, especially blacks and grays. And so I really wrestled with myself whether I wanted this eyeshadow palette or not. And I got it and ended up really thinking it looks fabulous on my eyes. It genuinely absolutely does. So it turned me on to a whole new color wheel, the part of the color wheel I don't visit very often. And now I'm really excited to be using deeper, darker colors. I'm gonna go ahead and do a dedicated video to this eyeshadow palette. I'm sure everybody's seen it in action, but if you want to see it on a hooded eye from me, then stay tuned because it's coming. I'm gonna use the All That palette by ColourPop. And then if there's anything else that you would like to see me review, try on, do a tutorial, try new makeup, whatever it is, let me know down in the comments below. Do good, be good, you are good. If you were the first person to comment on my last video, you'll now be featured here. Thank you for being subscribed, having notification bell on, and being the first to comment. If you want to be featured in the next video, then just be the first one to comment on this one. It's super easy. You can follow me on all my social media, all be listed down below. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Tell me what your favorite eyeshadow is down below if I didn't name it here, and I'll see if I have it, if I've tried it, or if I need to get it. Bye.